So, if you find yourself in some sort of situation, some kind of circumstance where you are very unhappy with how things are going in your life right now, as a man, the number one instinctual reaction we immediately go to is to try and man up, is to try and summon the willpower, the strength, the dominance to immediately begin doing what is necessary to get yourself out of that situation you no longer want to be in. This is going to be a pretty all encompassing start because there are so many problems in life. There are so many things that can go wrong. Maybe you just want to get in shape and your physicality is really bothering you right now. Maybe you want more money in your bank account. It's the financial situation that's stressing you out. Maybe it's relationship problems. The girlfriend, the wifey is really stressing you out. Or the lack of one, the absence of a woman is kind of tugging at your heartstrings, bothering you every single day. You continue to wake up to be reminded it's just you right now. Whatever it could be. What you're doing right there is essentially you're trying to, accumulate. I mean, whatever it is that you're actually doing, this happens in a kind of comedic, unique way to different men. This can come at you out of nowhere when it's 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, and you just start feeling that motivation bubble up within you, and you get this overwhelming urge to change your life. This can happen as some kind of mid existential life crisis or midlife crisis in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, and you look back at everything you've done so far and where you're reflecting on how you've lived, and it's like, I can't believe this much time has already passed. What am I going to do with the rest of my time on this planet? It can happen in a number of ways. The solution that you're looking for is the exact same, though, brother. You're looking for the power. You're looking for the ability to be able to. Maybe you see that as some kind of transformative experience. You need to become that person. Maybe you're at a pretty stable point in your life right now. You actually have everything that you need all around you in terms of resources. You're not actually really missing anything vital to helping you step into the vision of life that you hold in your mind, in your heart, in your soul. How is it that you get there? How do you actually become strong enough to lead the most successful life possible? It's so interesting to me that following God and fully embracing Christian theology, doctrine, and faith is bringing yourself into one of the most difficult lifestyles I could possibly think of in this moment. And I think what turns off a lot of people to following God, becoming a Christian, all this religion stuff is because as a non believer, you see God as this being who is establishing a whole lot of house rules. It's so much of you being told what to do. Very specifically, I don't know if you are familiar with the Bible at all. Have you ever opened a Bible? I have now and again a few times in my life. And it is down to the letter. No, quite literally. It is extremely specific in what to do and what not to do. And that's the thing about being human is this sense of autonomy and agency and free will. If it's not illegal, you're not technically hurting yourself. I say technically because that one's so tough. Like, is this harming me? Is like really subjective. You're gonna have to. It's going to be interesting just to find middle ground right there to truly conclude. Like, is this not good for me or is it fine? So there's that. And then the big one, maybe the biggest one, you're not hurting anybody else. You're not messing with anyone else. With these three conditions fulfilled, it's kind of like when you take God out of the picture, it's kind of like have at it. You know, do what you will. Okay? What floats your boat. All right? Do your thing. You do you. And I'ma do me. Something like that. And I believe the longer that I it's an attempt. I can't because I really wanted to say right there. The longer I follow God, but I don't even know if it's like that. From time to time, I'm slipping. Okay, I'm I find myself plummeting into these pitfalls as God being God. I don't ever see Dad trip up like that. He's kind of smooth with it. He's not. He's very truly smooth with it. Just, step by step, steady, clean, immaculate, right? And as followers, his beloved children. Now, I really mean that when I say beloved. It's how I believe Father to see us. And he finds us lovely. Uh, quite adorable, uh, extremely, extremely lovable, and infinitely flawed. It's boundless how bad we can get in terms of wrongdoings and evil and whatnot. So the ones that do decide to follow him, it's just, I don't know how Dad is always it's just a perfect pace. And it's like keeping up with him. I find myself slipping and falling all the time, more often than not. And it's difficult to say, but how could I dare go on air and articulate, converse, and speak about the Lord God and not stay truthful? All right. Even for my God focused episodes like this one tonight. So that's why I'm forced to say, and I don't want to tell you this, but it's facts, that more often than not, it's willful. It's me choosing to fall, to hoping that Dad does not look back and catch me taking a break from the path that we're both on together. It's kind of like, okay, Dad's, further up. All right. He should be far enough. I'm going to take a break right here. And I get to doing things that he would absolutely frown upon. Not doing that, staying on the narrow path, so to speak, and trying to align yourself as closely as possible with the Lord God. To do that requires the pinnacle of strength. Now, of course, I'm trying to relate this message tonight to really help all my fellow kings. So, for me to do that, I must try and filter this through the male human experience. So, now we're talking about the pinnacle of masculine strength. I am telling you, you're going to need a whole ton of that in your life if you want to get out of whatever it is that's bothering you right now. And that really could be anything. For me, it was everything. It was my entire life. It was all of it, all the time, every single day. It was literally kind of like tearing me apart. I was coming apart at the seams, brother. Okay? And if you knew me back then externally speaking, I had all the pleasures I could ask for. It's so tragically, frustratingly ironic when I say this, because I wasn't actually missing anything in terms of pleasure, in terms of fun, in terms of what felt good, what felt great. It was kind of all there. And that's exactly what destroyed my life. That is what brought me to ruin and demise, almost to the point of death. That is not a dramatic exaggeration. Then let's fast forward a little bit and we'll bring it all the way up to today. It's almost, oh wow, what a timely episode this is. I did not mean to do that, but it is almost Christmas of 2025, this year. Um, that is celebrating the birth of the Messiah. Is that what Christmas is about? December 25th? When that fine fellow over there was born. Correct me if I'm wrong. See, like if I'm wrong about that, then this is how little I know about Christianity itself. I love God. I do my best to follow God. And as I continue to try to, I am then it's a no-brainer. You're going to try to follow God, then you need to, from whatever source. Maybe you read it yourself. I highly recommend that. I'm not really good at that though. So luckily, we have the wonderful magical power of the internet, and on here, on the vast spaces of the World Wide Web, I try and connect with those who have some pretty um, substantial credentials for explaining and describing God, helping others like me get to know Him even better, get to build a stronger sense of faith, a true and deeper Christian, right? And then I notice very quickly, wow, there really are so many rules to life. We don't even need to go too deep into this because I'm not capable. And even if I was, I definitely don't have enough time for just one episode to cover all the things that God would have you and me completely stay away from. It is so much. I mean, you just look at the 7 deadly sins. Can I name all 7 deadly sins right now? I'm not going to try, but there's a whole bunch. Well, there's 7 of them. And to me, that's a whole bunch because even just one of them can bring absolute ruin, complete and total destruction to you and everyone you know and love. It's that serious. So it's no wonder God would take these things quite seriously as well. And then that makes me think, is it in His best interest or is it in our best interest to try and follow these rules? But it's really hard following these rules. It's so it pulls so much strength out of you you did not know had was previously there, had ever previously existed. But oh, you bet. You definitely have it. You have the capability to become strong enough to take your life in the direction that you really want it to. I am directly correlating that with following Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior, God Himself, and all of the Christian and biblical doctrine. Because why would one want to avoid sin? Sin is so tricky in this way. It comes kind of pre-packaged in your personal favorite flavors. Exactly how you want it, when you want it, however you do. That is how sin can arrive at your door. And so the fight, to be anti-sin, so to speak, is to become familiar with Father's ways. That is the virtue. These are signs of the Holy Spirit, fruits of the Spirit. You will know them by the fruits that they bear. Peace, joy, temperance, patience, gentility, humility. I'm mixing up virtue and fruits right now, but all of these require a certain amount of strength. Why is that? Once again, filter this through the male human experience. I am talking specifically to men. I'm talking specifically to you. So if you would use your own life experiences right now, if there is any area of your life, and I bet you can see it right now in this moment as you are watching me or perhaps listening to me, you know, brother, my life is wrong in this way. The issues are like this. Okay. I have the specific problem right here in front of my face. Hey, I'm right there with you. I got mine too. And it's like, how is it that you're going to get over this hurdle though? How, okay, let's not even talk about clearing the hurdle, but even making the attempt to try. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a kind of chunky dude. Okay. I have a legitimate muffin top and I'm bulking right now though. So this muffin top is very justified. But even in the cutting seasons of spring and summer, and you know what I'm saying? Sun's out, guns out for the ladies. I don't even know if that's biblical. You know what I'm saying? Like, we vibing tonight and I'm just talking to you. And it's like, even the things that I'm saying, even the words that are coming out of my mouth right now are not necessarily as biblical and as true and as virtuous, as good as Father would want them to be. But okay, hold on. All right. So it's just trying to foster this sense of power and strength. You're only going to be able to do that if you have something to do combat with. Men are so interesting in this way. The weakest, the meekest, if that's a word, the most timid, the most fragile of us. And we all are in different ways, if I'm going to keep it extra real tonight. But in all the ways that I am personally very weak, lust, pride, gluttony, wrath. What else we got here? Sloth. We got a whole bunch, okay? When dad says, then you must try and discipline yourself and engage with hard work. You must try and abstain. Keep your eyes pure. Stay away from masturbatory. Hold on. Masturbatory. Yes. Activities. You know, be faithful enough to God that you would wait for marriage? That, you know what I'm saying, even if you got the chadliness going on, brother, okay, not many of us do, that you're not going to just be out there slinging it to any baddie that's down with you like that. That you would still follow God and do your best to wait for your wife, wherever she is, whoever she is. Like, I'm really just going quickly one by one right now. Like, I love cheeseburgers. I love sugar. I love all the desserts, like sweets, like pastries, ice cream, and whatnot. And it kills you. Not like, oh God, this is so good. No, like it actually kills you. Like at your funeral, like you're not coming back because you had too much. Because you're not able to stop yourself from having as much as you want to. Appetite in this way, craving. I call it the carnality of man. It is the lower half of us, brother. The the fight that you must engage with, because that is where evil is cultivated. That is like the breeding ground for it when it is allowed to run wild. What would be the opposing force to cut it off before it grows to the point that it will actually kill you, kill other people, all of us, humanity collectively? I have to say, oh, of course, you already know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it anyways. And that would have to be the ways that Father implores, he highly recommends you, me, all human beings follow this, this, these sets of rules, this rubric, frameworks to protect yourself in life. It's the more I continue my own personal walk with God, and the more I pursue stronger, uh, truer, a more purified version of my current faith, the more I try to live like this, the more I see and understand it's not even because he wants to tell us what to do. And that's how I understand all of this so far. And for me, it's not that deep yet. You know, for me, it's still only about 4 years. 4 years coming on 5 years. It's not long at all. You know, you have so many Christians out there that have been following Father for their entire lives, decades upon decades upon decades. I really don't know that much, but I know this though. I know this, and that the longer I, you know, try and embody good Christian values, be able to justify calling myself one, the longer I continue treading this path, is the more I understand it isn't for Dad. It's not because he just wants to wag his finger and tell us what to do, and have us, manipulate us into, these controlled states where we become robots and we're just doing whatever God wants us to do. No, it's actually not like that. It's that there really are forces of darkness and evil in this world that will eat you alive, bro. If you are unaware and you are not able to guard yourself, to protect yourself in this way, you and your loved ones, that's how real the fight is. If your life is being overruled right now by problems and issues, are they really? Are maybe they could actually be demons running amok in your life right now? Okay. Oh, we're getting super biblical tonight. That's what the fight would really be. That's the battlefield right there. And a man, so many of us as men are losing because we are not taking that fight. trying to ignore it, trying to smother it, sedate it, numb yourself from it, ultimately escape from it altogether. I know I have these problems and I know I have these issues, but I don't want to do anything about them right now. I literally just got back from work. I am so tired. I've been alive for too long. I've seen too much. And on top of that, you do not know where I come from, what has been done to me, things I've already done myself. You put that all together, and it's just too much for a man to deal with alone by himself. With God, it becomes the exact opposite. So for me personally, this is beautiful. I'm not able to fully articulate why it happens like this. You take this with as much salt as needed, probably at least a few grains. And I totally acknowledge that. But I can only give it to you in the way that it happened to me, in the way that I've personally experienced it myself. And it's that the moment you give your life to Jesus and God, it's also the same moment God begins to show you through your pain and your suffering and your problems and whatnot. That is actually the pathway towards this greater source of strength that I'm talking about, to be better in life, to be better so you can so you can do better and then ultimately have better in life. It's not, I don't believe it actually works like that, to be, extremely humble in rags and, maybe just water and bread and, that's it. Very, very, what is the term? Is it the Orthodox way of Christianity, or incredibly monastic, if that's how you say that word, monk like? It can be. I think that's up to the individual follower. But no, I don't believe it works like that at all. I believe there are many good Christians alive today, right now, like literally right now, who are abundantly blessed, living their their personal version of a perfect life. And what I say by perfect life is not that everything is going perfectly. It's not that there are no more problems and no more pain and no more suffering. I don't believe that's actually possible. Not until you make it to heaven. And that that might be a whole different podcast episode. No, what I mean by perfect life is that they wouldn't change anything. You imagine? I When I first met God and started following him, I could only think about what I wanted to change. I needed to change everything. For me, it was literally everything. It needed to be a top down and all the way around overhaul of my entire life. Nothing was spared. God and myself went through this process from scratch. And that gets into my personal testimony. I'm not going to get into that tonight, though coming soon to a Pillars of Man podcast near you, I might dedicate a full episode to just the testimony. How did I get here? What happened? What really transpired? The truth of my life for me to be able to sit here and say, oh, I really do love God, been following him, been a Christian for this amount of time, which is like roughly like 4 or 5 years or so. Yeah. No, tonight I just wanted to offer this solution that you're right when you feel as though you're too weak right now, like in this moment, to do what must be done. If that is a physical goal, to really cultivate the consistency to hit the gym as many times as you need to every given week. That's the consistency. That's the discipline that's needed. If it's a financial situation, that's one of the toughest ones right there. You have to reevaluate whole careers. You have to start learning. You have to start reading. You have to start researching. You have to start, right, reaching out. Okay, putting yourself out there. It's a whole lot. Romance. That's a whole adventure in and of itself. To be able to socially engage with the opposite sex and do so in a way that is safe, consensual for both, mutual. Okay. It's not just that you would, jump through hoops and do whatever you deem necessary to impress her, but also that she interests you as well. Aren't those, would you agree with me there, bro? That those are the best kinds of relationships. It's not that you're just so attracted. Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. I have to have her. It's that she really wants to have you too. And when you both meet in this way, okay, all right, now we got substantial grounds for a fighting chance at love, at genuine connection, at coexistence and companionship for a lifetime. And how about even past a lifetime? How about even longer than that, into eternity? That's some true love vibes right there. I don't know if true love exists between a man and a woman. I don't know if you know. I don't know if that was just a concept sold to us by popular media. You let me know what you think in the comments down below. All I know is that to put yourself in the best circumstance possible for all these different categories of life and any other ones that you can think of that are like way more personal to you, because I know those are pretty general. That's just right. That's just like for the masses right there. Who does not want to be in the best shape possible? Who does not want to meet their perfect partner? And who does not want to make the most amount of money possible? There is a right way and a wrong way to go about everything in life. God is so difficult to follow. It's actually it's hard because he's going to have you do it the right way. That's his way. It's not the right way according to human beings, and it is not the right way according to some sort of philosophy, some kind of ideology, some sort of political agenda. Okay, no matter how many people get together and agree this is how we should be doing things, God will forever stand as that bastion, immovable and unshakable in this way. It must be his way. Were those the words of Jesus himself? He said that I am the way, the truth, and the life. And that I'm paraphrasing here, but it was something along the lines of if you are to see the Father, you may only see him through me. And then I am to believe as a Christian, I don't know if you've heard of this, but then to follow Jesus. If you hear that and you're like, you're the way and the truth and life, okay, I'm down. I will follow you. You know what Jesus Christ does after you say that? After you're like, sign me up. I'm down. Check me out. I'm a Christian t-shirt. He gives you a cross. And it sits on you. And you cannot let that thing drop. You got to hold it up and carry it for the rest of your life. It's so difficult. It's not even funny. And I'm only saying that it is because I've dropped mine countless times. Picking it back up, or perhaps at times maybe it wasn't me that picked it back up. Maybe it was God's grace that gave it back to me. That I'm able to sit here before you today and tell you very confidently, there is no greater source of strength than a man willing to carry the burden of his cross. That's real power right there. Because it means so much. More specifically, that cross is filled with so many kinds of different trials and tribulations because evil knows no rest. The forces of darkness are relentless in this way, incredibly persistent, downright incessant, always looking for you, hunting you, trying to find where you are weak, where they can strike that is going to do the most damage possible in order for you to despair. When a human being is in despair, madness, okay, true melancholy and sorrow, okay, seething with rage and fury, okay, absolutely losing their minds. They are at the furthest distance possible from God. I can't say it that any human being is irredeemable though, because I don't know if that's how God works. Seems as though God's hand is, in the way that I know him personally, that his hand would extend to any human being that is truly looking for salvation because they are fully repenting for whatever went wrong in their life, that they are taking responsibility and owning up to however disastrous their life got, how awful of a human being they may have become. And that's just that for you. That's God, because perhaps through that moment of forgiveness and you coming to terms with how you were wrong, that is the turning point where you are finally able to start making genuine progress towards the very best version of yourself. I am a man that believes the art of self-actualization for the modern man in the 21st century is actually not that far away, maybe a stone's throw from how Christianity would mold him as a man. And this is doctrine and faith of over thousands of years. It's connected because the end product is the very best version of you. How can I say so confidently the output right there would be the highest? Okay? Peak, as my Zoomer Kings like to say, the pinnacle version of you is because you are inevitably going to get better. You only get better when you understand the weight that the cross will bring on you in life. It's almost as if it wasn't heavy in this way and it was really light, I don't know how much you and I would grow in this way. If it wasn't a fight for your life, and it's deeper than that. I am to believe it's for your soul. It's where the true you, maybe the body and this vessel in a biological sense down to a cellular level will dissolve and fade over time. But the soul, though, okay, like the true individual you are, the amalgamation, so to speak, all together of your experiences and your takes and what, the combined genetic data of your entire ancestral line, all of it coming together to create you. Okay. That may very well go somewhere where that is my own belief as to where, in my understanding, according to the faith, one of two destinations. You know what I mean, bro? I think, you know what I'm saying? One is very fluffy, very bright, like this is very nice, okay? The other one, not so much, kind of on the spicy side, like not going to feel that great. It's going to be more than a slight burning, tingling sensation, okay? Right? Up or down in this way. All that strength that a man needs in life is really the same kind of power that following God allows you to grow and learn so that you can fight back. You can use that power that you really have and understand, I need to fend off these temptations. I need to do battle with some of these things. Like if I'm pathologically lying, and I just can't stop, then what is it about my deceptive tongue? All right, that I feel as though I am gaining more power, more control, more whatever from these people. I am able to persuade and coerce them in a way to have outcomes happen in my favor in the way that I need them to. That's just lying. you know, like it really keeps going. It really does keep going. Murdering, okay, stealing, right? Just what is dishonest? What is impure? What is going to, all right, do harm to you or me or both of us and all of us? It's it's so crazy in this way. And I'm not sitting before you as a man that has mastered, perfected this. It's actually quite the opposite. It's interesting for me because I talk about all of this because I am struggling with it so much in life. A primordial Achilles heel, okay, that I'm gonna speak on behalf of, right, um, all of us collectively as gentlemen, and say lust is one of the worst. Lust is really, really difficult. Okay, have you seen modern Western women? All right, brother, there's not exactly like on the conservative side for how they look and how they dress and how they act and how they behave. I am not judging. Okay, I am definitely not complaining, but that's kind of half the problem. Do you feel me on that, bro? Okay, you're too fine. You're too fine. You walked out the house like this, brother. This is, oh my god, not going to help me keep it biblical, you know. And then it gets so real. The addictions to gooning, to corn, to all the XXX content on the internet. If that's a problem for you, then again, is that not a weakness? Like all of this is returning to a weakness in ourselves. Like just as human beings, as men, mammals, intelligent, sentient Homo sapiens, however you'd like to categorize you and me. Father would have you and I believe you and I are a son of the light from him. wonderfully and fearfully made. I was taught that many, many times before it was pressed. Okay, into my head. Okay, with the hot sizzle and everything. And I'm extremely grateful. I will never forget that every single one of us, yeah, every single one of us, wonderfully and fearfully made. All right, which means that Dad took his time, right? Like just took his time, and now you're here. So in this way, if you are looking to become stronger, and you do, need more strength in life, then you are actually looking to become the version that God knows you can be. For Father already knows that, man. The best of you, brother. He's already there. And it's kind of like the rest of it, the rest of your life, the rest of that journey for you is for you to find out. Can I? Is this really possible? I am able to become stronger in this way, be able to deal with the problems and issues of my life so that I can live it in the best way possible. You know, who is to say? Why can't it be you, bro? Why can't it be you that does have a lovely wife and have a ton of kids, be able to own your own house and stuff like this? All right. Make a living where you don't have to scam anybody. You don't have to dog anyone out. You don't have to put other people down. No, bro, you can lift them up. Okay. And you find a way to do that through your own individual passions and interests. And bro, if anything I'm saying right now resonates, like if any of this stuff sounds good and your eyes are widening a little bit just out of sheer excitement, I'm so down. I would love to live like that. Then, bro, you kind of you you are validating, all right, my podcast episode tonight, because you really do want to be stronger. You need to be stronger in this way. You're not going to find any version, any form of strength better than the biblical kind, because the biblical kind has you. It puts you in direct opposition to the worst evils imaginable to humanity. This is like the most heinous, wicked, and vile stuff. Like, bro, like you gonna try to fight that all on your own, bro? It just don't work like that. I mean, you can try. I do not know how far you're gonna get. I feel like you are gonna get bullied, and it's gonna be extreme. Like it's gonna be really painful. Like I mean, pain's there no matter what, but that's just like unnecessary. Like you're gonna get jumped. You're gonna be surrounded. It's not gonna look good. It's not gonna look good. You definitely need help. You need some. You need understanding, the wisdom, right, to tell the difference. I was like, okay, this is this is chill. This is not chill. This is not chill at all. I gotta get away from this. I gotta get away from her. Gotta get away from him. Gotta get away from them. Right? It's like you put your eyes on God. Okay. So that you can take your eyes off of anything that doesn't serve you. It doesn't help. You're trying to do your best. You're really trying to do your best. And you're trying to do right by people. Trying to make a positive impact. Trying to secure your slice of the pie. Can I do more? Can I do more than just barely survive? Can I give back? Can I show appreciation to family, to friends, to people who support me, people who care about me? Like you really just want to be a good and decent person? You absolutely need to give God a chance. I saw this hilarious meme, but what he was talking about was not funny at all. It's just his presentation. And my man in the meme Shout out. I don't. I wish I could accredit the source, but I don't know his name. I don't know. I don't even remember really where I saw it. But the meme was dope because he was just like, try Jesus. Mm-hmm. Try Jesus. And he's talking. He's talking to guys. I mean, he's kind of talking to anybody. But I got this. He didn't explicitly state it, but I got this feeling he was talking to the boys, and he was like, try Jesus. Okay, because like you tried everything else, bro. You know what I mean? Like you tried drugs. Okay, you you tried bud. You tried women. All right, you tried smoking. You tried drinking. You've tried. Okay, you tried hustling. You tried Bitcoin. You tried all these things. Try the way, the truth, and the life. Try the Bible. Try God. Try Jesus Christ. And then it hit me. And it's that my continuous attempt to stay aligned with the version of myself that I know God wants me to be is really my only shot. It's actually my only chance at doing this the right way, at finding the source of strength and power, not to impose, not to commandeer, or you know, be a tyrant over others. Bow to me at my feet and allow me to, okay, order you around. Not that kind of strength or power, but the biblical kind where you would be able to protect those that need protecting, that you could provide those that you wish to provide for, and maybe to even more than that. That you would be able to stand for what is right, brother. That in the face of real tyranny, of real evil, you could join the side that would keep freedoms, rights, and hopes alive. I am covering everything in such a general sense. You'll have to forgive me for doing that because God covers all of it. It's all that is good is on Father's side. I want you to be a part of that, bro. Okay? If you can't do it like this anymore, you're sick of doing it how you've been doing it your entire life, then you need to join that side. That is time for you to become a part of a team that's truly for you in this way. But I can't do that for you in the way that I understand God. He will not make you do that. It's really going to come down to if you want to do that. And if you do, you're going to have to knock. You're going to have to find him. And when you do, you're going to have to give it up. What happened? Not the truth. What happened? How did you F up? And you're going to have to bring that all out on the table. You will not be able to leave a single detail out. And when you give it all to God, He'll know. He'll be able to tell the difference. If you're just doing that for some sort of hidden agenda or some kind of ulterior motive, or you are doing it because you're just really sorry. You do that and you pray. You get yourself a Bible. You start checking some of this stuff for yourself. You don't listen to me. You can if you want to. But you can't just take my word for it, nor could you take the word of any other man that is going to tell you all about God. Find Father for yourself. Seek the Father. Repent to Him follow him. And I guarantee you, this I can promise you, you are well on your way to truly the strongest version of you that is going to be able to take on the struggles, the problems, the issues that a man like you is going to have because of everything that you are asking for out of life. You're looking for a corner of the internet where another fellow is also attempting to do the same, then by all means, brother, you check me out here at the Pillars of Man podcast. It's kind of what I do. I talk about a little bit about everything and anything that goes into God, philosophy, movies, anime, bodybuilding, all aimed at helping any man become the very best version of himself. I thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for vibing with me, hanging out with me, checking out all this good stuff. You go to my video section at this channel, there it all is. Check out whatever you'd like. I try to cover as much of this stuff as I can. That goes into helping guys really self-improve themselves and their lives. And tonight, on episodes like this, all the focus, as it should be, is on God. So thanks so much for being here. You like content like this, subscribe to me, bro. Hit that subscribe button. You're on Spotify listening to me right now. Follow me on Spotify. Follow me wherever you find this, because I do hope to see you on the very next one. But until then, take it easy. Take good care of yourself. And I love you so much. Peace.